Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. Please like and subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell for notifications. It is my intention to do a video every day. It is proving to be a little bit challenging with her home on summer break. She's been good today. She's been helping me clean. We were able to get the house cleaned from last week of me doing nothing. Um, I'm gonna just pause there real quick and just say that this video is kind of hard for me to make. I've had to stop it and re-record quite a few different times, and I am exhausted. Um, Going over the weekend was a wonderful experience, a great experience, um, a lot of firsts. A lot of great memories. You know, she was able to get her toes in the sand for the first time. She's never touched sand before, and she loved it. She just dug those toes in. No sensory issues whatsoever. She loved sitting in the water and splashing around. My son, my younger son was able to paddleboard, which he fell in love with. That's my new favorite activity, which I don't have a leg, so I'm going to have to figure that out. And he was able to get into a kayak, him and my husband, and we had a lot of fun. But that fatigue factor, she's 9 years old, and I'm exhausted. I haven't slept in 9 years, and I had a girlfriend say, you hear someone talk about, "Oh, yeah, I didn't sleep last night." Well, everybody doesn't sleep. You get sleep. No, I don't get sleep. Um, right from the beginning, right from delivery, we were in the hospital for 17 days. Um, she didn't come home. I was discharged after, healing from my C-section, and I was up at that hospital from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. every single night, until I could bring her home. And the hardest part of that was trying to be there for my other kids. Um, how do you transition from your daughter being in ICU, who's just a newborn, who's just a couple days old, to a 3-year-old running around, not understanding why you're not home, and a 12-year-old who doesn't understand where mom's at, and the only time that I could give my older son was in bed at night watching a video. He was into Harry Potter, and that was all the quality time I was able to give him. And there's a lot of guilt wrapped up around that is slowly being released. But again, back to that fatigue factor. Um, we got her home. 2 weeks later, we were back in the hospital for RSV. And then at 3 months, the seizure started. And in between those, when she had RSV to the seizure starting at 3 months, we were in the hospital once a month. So she was born in December. She came home at 17 days. 2 weeks later, we were in the hospital. 2 weeks later, we were in the hospital. 4 weeks later, we were in the hospital. 4 weeks later, we were in the hospital. And no sooner would we come home, from being in the hospital for 7 to 10 days, I still have a newborn to take care of with all of these medical issues and all of these drugs that she was on. She was on 12 different medications right from the get-go. And that's hard to do, that's hard to push those meds to your little baby tiny infant. It's your job to take care of, it's your job to protect, and you hope you're doing the right thing, by giving her these meds. Is it balancing out her heart? Is it taking the fluid off? What is all this? What are all the side effects? What is all of this extra stuff doing? And so there's not only the mental stress, there's the physical stress, and so when you're in the hospital, I'm sure many of you know, you don't sleep. There's alarms and buzzers and people coming in. They want to take blood every freaking hour. Her heart, the blood pressure, really, that's going to change, within an hour. It's just, I understand, that they're critical care, they need to be on top of these kids, but at the same time, give them a chance to heal. Step back a second, and just give them a chance to heal. The medical profession, I struggle with. It's really hard for me. But we'll have to talk about that later. So the whole fatigue thing, she's 9 years old. We've been in and out of the hospital probably close to 300 plus times. I wish I could say I was exaggerating. 300 plus times in a 9-year-old's life is more than probably my entire community has been in the hospital. And that's a hard thing to go through. It wears on you, you know. When you come home, there's so many other things that you're trying to catch up on and trying to do, and you're still a person, and you lose yourself in the chaos of the day, and then when you throw not sleeping in, I get 2 to 3 hours of sleep any given night. That's my consecutive sleep, is 2 to 3 hours. I hear every single noise, every single noise. My husband and I can't even sleep together. He rolls over. I wake up because through the monitor I can hear her seizing, even if she's not vocal. I can hear her thrashing around in the sheets, and I'm instantly up and in there taking care of her. I hear everything. I hear the cats coming. I hear people out, 3 o'clock in the morning walking the neighborhood. I hear it all. It's So it's hard. We get home today from a wonderful trip. It's physically draining to pack up. It's exhausting to load up the van. The van, yes, it has a lift, and it makes it so much easier to push that wheelchair up into it. Packing, no, not so easy. I have a little engineer, my second son, bungee corded, all of our bags together to be able to keep them. So as you're pushing in the wheelchair, you come into it, the opening, and on the side, are the benches that go all the way up to the back seats. So we had everything, that's how we travel. That car is packed, let me tell you. So, we get home from an amazing trip. Everybody's relaxed, and that carried over through today. She slept in for me. She slept until 9 o'clock. She was able to give me that hour. My husband and I were able to get up and get what we needed to within that hour done. And I just went into today knowing my kitchen was blown out, my living room's blown out, the parlor was blown out, her room blown out. It literally looked like a tornado had come through and just blew up. Yeah, it was pretty bad. So from about 9 o'clock until 7, I've been cleaning. The kitchen's clean. It's spotless now. Her room, 100%. Living room looks nice, and so does the parlor. And just doing that took me all day because I had to take care of her. I had to feed her. I had to change her diaper. Fortunately, there was no throwing up today. Sometimes that just comes on a whim, any given day, you just welcome it and you take it as it comes. And that's another lesson, that she's teaching me is, yeah, I can have my plans made, and I'm going to just veer off into this little corner over here, and it's going to just go a completely different way, and do I want to respond to that, or am I going to react to that? And I'm slowly learning how to respond to the situation, to not let it take control of me, where my anxiety levels just fly through the roof, and the whole stress factor, it's not worth it. I need to take care of her for the rest of my life, for the rest of her life. I don't know how long that's going to be. I need to be as fit and as healthy as I can. And I do apologize. I'm tongue-tied when I'm exhausted. I forget a lot of times of what I'm saying. I'll be right in the middle of a sentence and it's just poof, gone. It's crazy. And I know this a lot too. Like I'll stumble over my words. My kids, their favorite joke is, what am I going to call the refrigerator or the oven today? Because everything, I interchange the appliances all the time. They get quite a kick out of that. But it's just the fatigue factor. Again, this is just a 24/7 job. there's no break, you know, there's no rest. And when you think there is, there's always something else to do, you know. And when is it the me time? You know, when do I find my time? And right now, it's going to be after this video. I'm going to run up and take a bath and meditate. You know, that'll be my time. My husband's home; he can help take care of her. You know, he can give her a bath and put her to bed, um, and I can enjoy the rest of my night. So, with that being said, I want to say thank you to everybody for coming. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I just want to say thank you. Um, it means a lot with everybody reaching out with what you're sharing, and I appreciate that. You know, it's very hard to open up yourself and share your emotions, but this is something that needs to be shared. It needs to be told because there's way too many of us struggling through this, and it's not easy, and we need help, and we got to figure this out. So, with that being said, I love you all and thank you very much. Bye bye.